Mulgrew talks about the possibility of Janeway making a comeback. I'm W.F.S, your doctor, and today I want to talk about hints that Kate Mulgrew has reported that Janeway may be coming back to Star Trek. Well, it's been a while since we actually saw a live Catherine Janeway. If you want to count the Star Trek prodigy, then she's been around for about a year. But I don't recognize that as Janeway. So she dropped it a couple of days ago that there have been conversations about the idea of bringing Janeway back in her own series, like Picard, I guess. Not much information was dropped except for the fact that they have had conversations, her and some people, I guess, over there at Paramount. So I'm not exactly sure what to make of that. I mean, the idea of Janeway making a comeback would be great. She's really a respectable character from Star Trek. And I guess I'm just a little concerned here. Because the truth is, so far, they have not done a good job representing Star Trek. Strange New Worlds, it's not bad. It really isn't a bad show. If you want to get real technical about it, they are not respecting the timeline. In some ways, they're not respecting the characters. But positive-wise, the show is definitely brighter, nowhere near as dark as Picard or Discovery. God, those things are just way too dark. Although they do promise Picard Season 3 will be a great send-off for the next generation. Whatever. I'm not sure what to make of any of that. Janeway, she made it back to the Alpha Quadrant, and the next time we saw her was briefly as Admiral Janeway in Nemesis. Apparently she became a fleet commander. Or a fleet admiral, excuse me. And then after that, with the exception of stories, not much else to hear about the character. Now, I guess after, again, Discovery, Picard, Strange New World is doing pretty good. They're talking about the idea of putting her in a show of her own. Again, no scripts, no director or anything like that. Just talk between them and Kate. Excuse me, I get the character and the real person mixed up sometimes. So, I want to know, what do you people think about this idea? Janeway making a comeback on her own show, do you have concerns? Are you psyched for the idea? As for people concerned about political correctness and the woke agenda, how this may or may not affect it, I don't even know why this would affect it. In fact, I'm surprised in so many ways. There are so many women characters out there that have been there since the 80s. Lead characters. And I don't know why women these days are so freaked out about women don't represent. There's a lot of characters from the past. Not even in sci-fi. There's a movie, Gloria. Great movie there. Let's see. Kathleen Turner, V.I. Wachowski. Another good movie. It didn't do well in the theaters, and honestly, it didn't do well on television, but I thought it was a great film. Then you got G.I. Jane. No puns toward Will Smith, please. It's just, there is a lot of movies out there for women. And honestly, Kate, she's even had movies since the 80s. I mean, she wasn't a lead role, but she was in Remo Williams' The Adventure Begins. She played in the military. But as for her coming back to Star Trek, I would love it if they kept the character decent. I don't want to see another Picard-type character withering away in the vineyards. Just the character so depressingly sad. I don't want that anymore. I want positive, upbeat Star Trek. I want a bright future, which is what Star Trek was supposed to be about. It was supposed to be all-inclusive. And yet, for, what, over 6 years, 7 years? I may maybe getting my numbers mixed up, but this is the crap that they've been throwing at us. Darkness. And I honestly believe that Strange New Worlds, the brightness of the show, is only existing because of the Orville and how bright of a future that was. The Orville, I honestly think, is the reason Strange New Worlds exists. And if I'm right about that, thank you, Seth MacFarlane, because it's time to bring some positive back to the Trek. Now, I really want to know what all of you think about Kate, whether she should come back as Janeway. What do you think a storyline's going to be? Again, nothing's out there, but I really would love to know. So, drop the comments below. Click the like button if you like what I'm saying. And please, if you like what I'm saying, subscribe to the channel, please. I love talking about this stuff, and I want to hear from people. I'm W.F.S. God bless.